Hey, welcome back to the Sharebills. Today I'm going to test this engine that I've got left over and see if it actually runs. It's a small test setup and just some little fun thing to do. Let's see if it runs. So I've made a little test setup of this engine to show you that it actually runs. There is no exhaust, there is no cooling. I did put a carburetor on here, had to do some work on it, but I think it will work. I've also put on a CDI, which is connected to this wiring loom, which goes down to the engine over here to the signal generator. And there are 3 wires coming from the CDI, pink one and a yellow one. One goes to the one coil, one goes to the other coil, so the coils are there as well. And they are hooked up to the engine frame. And there's a black and white line, and I've hooked that up to a switch over here. And then it goes over to the plus side of the battery, because this will actually cut power to the CDI. And it actually stops these plugs from sparking. So that's kind of my kill switch over here.
Ooh, you circumvented the kill switch.
I've already checked to see if the coil is fire. I've had an extra plug here, plug it into this thing, and take it out like that, plug it in, hold it up to the engine case, and then see what happens. And they work on both sides. Also, I checked out that there's oil in the engine. I don't think I've put a filter in this one, but I'm only going to run it really short because there's no coolant. So it really can only run like for 30 seconds, and that's it. Here's the starter motor, of course, which it needed. And I've used this to put the bike in neutral. And I know it's in neutral because you can actually spin this freely. And I've actually just tested it also with the neutral light over here. So this plug that comes from the wiring loom, as you can see, it goes down here. This is for the neutral light, and I've actually hooked up a test light to see if it's in neutral, and it is. So it's in neutral. I've got spark, I've got fuel. The engine turns around. I'm going to show it as well. Over here, you can take off. I don't know if I can do it by hand. Yes, I can. So this is inspection cover, and you can actually put a 17mm socket on this and rotate the engine to see if it's free. And I know it was free. It's free, so it's all good. I've got a really good ground for the starter and the engine itself. And there is the 12-volt wire going to the engine. Of course, I'm only hooking up, and I'm doing like that. And the ground is already hooked up to the battery over there. So to start it, you just put that on the 12-volt point. It will spark a bit, but then the engine will start to kick over like this. I started doubting whether the coils were actually sparking because of the switch I put in. So I decided to make sure the coils are actually sparking and just check for spark. So spark plug to the crankcase. And sure enough, there is spark. So that shouldn't be a problem, at least I thought it was. But let's see what happens. So it's covering the whole of the carburetor to see if it actually sucks up fuel. But you can clearly see the fuel coming out of these cylinders. So for some reason, there's no ignition. And again, you can clearly see the fuel coming out of the cylinders. That's why I put my hand onto the air filter. So I thought maybe the coils are the wrong way around, and that's why they're not firing at the correct moment. So I switched it over and tried again. It ran. So that was a ticket, switching around the coils, and now she starts up like a dream. Bit more fuel, and here we go. And then the flow bowl starts to drip like crazy. Try to turn in the screws, didn't seem to help. And then usually it's a float bowl that's stuck. So just tap it, maybe use a rubber hammer like I'm going to do in a minute, and just run that engine. And usually that's enough to solve that problem. Don't worry about it, just run the engine and it should be fine. Alright, I nearly forgot there's no coolant in this thing and no filter, so I was already starting to fine tune it, but yeah, I had to stop it, of course. It's already getting pretty warm, but it runs, actually it runs pretty good. So if you're looking for an engine that runs, I got one for you right here. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little video on how to do a test setup with an engine like this CX500 engine. It runs, it does have one drawback, that one of the mounting points for the engine is snapped off, so that needs to be re-welded. But apart from that, if you're looking for internals or stuff like that, it's all there. It works, as you can see. So all you need is a carburetor, a CDI, switch, maybe as a kill switch so it doesn't run away, a battery, and fuel, spark plugs, and that's it, and a starter motor. And then you can start the engine basically. Make sure there's oil in there, make sure you don't run it too long, and before you do it, do a run without starter motor, so with the spanner at the front. Then do one with just a starter motor, so you can actually get some oil going before you really start it, and then try to start it. And then you should end up with something like this. I've added a throttle cable so I can actually pull the throttle, but you can do the idle adjuster screw as well, but the cable helps to kind of find your sweet spot. So yeah, if you like my videos, please subscribe, go to my Instagram, You can also go to my YouTube. You can also go to my website. And yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers.